the cars for the MSVT Trackday Trophy heading out onto the circuit. Thank you to the MSVR team and MSV team as well for just bringing me up the starting drivers for this one as well. Usually we would see the cars released onto the grid and then they would not have a formation lap, they would go straight off. But for this one, they're being released onto the grid, they will stop briefly on the grid and then they will head off for a formation lap for what will be a rolling start for the Trackday Trophy. The row 3 of the grid, it's black and silver and red for Alex Reid alongside the all-white Toyota Celica of Sarah Hobson, and row 4, just to give you the colours, it's black and blue and orange Richard Clark alongside the black, white and red Ford Fiesta of Alex Tate. That gives you the colours on the front few rows of the grid. Lights are out on the safety car, it's about to peel its way right and into the pit lanes. We're about to get the second race of the season underway for the MSVT Trackday Trophy, and when the lights go out, which they do now, Michael Rawlings is matching Damian Trubchalski as they head up towards Coppice Corner for the first time. But it's the BMW of Michael Rawlings that is going to lead this enormous pack up towards Charlie's for the first time.
Still in the lead of the race behind the wheel of that BMW. The Honda in second place. Trubchalski is under pressure a little bit from the 148. That Golf in the hands of Alex Reid. There's the Honda Civic chasing him down as well. Jeremy Evans, the Mazda MX-5, gets swamped down the back straight with one of the Renault Clios that just went screaming by. Couldn't really do much in the way of that. I've got a feeling that was Richard Clark in the 166 Finsport car, and then everybody else files through down the park straight towards Park Corner around Chris Kirk. The lead gap to Rawlings is extended even further, so Rawlings already 2 seconds clear, I would say, followed then by that the Honda Civic of Trubchalski, and then there is the Volkswagen Golf following suit, still with Jeremy Evans in hot pursuit. The Semprini Racing Machine in the mid-pack is almost the tail, very much all the way back through there. They've been really wanting to make moves this early on in the race. It's a long race, like I say, 45 minutes with a pit stop thrown in, so a couple of positions made now might not lead to much later on in the race. You've got to make sure you can wait and then pick up those positions a little later on.
Yeah, the race leader's already heading up towards a hairpin at the moment with a sizable lead that Michael Rawlings has already built up on the opening lap of this race from the car that's there in second position. They all file their way through, everybody I think safely through the first half to 3/4 of the lap. The race leader appears into sight coming out of Barn Corner. The E36 BMW of Michael Rawlings leads the way. Damian Trubchalski sitting there in second position. Third place is going to be the Volkswagen Golf. It's Alex Reid that's there in third place. Fourth is Jeremy Evans at the wheel of the Honda. Alex Tate's there in fifth place, and Sarah Hobson hangs on to sixth place, which is where she started. But we've got the loads of cars filing their way past me. You'll have the race leaders with you at Park Straight.
Yeah, the race leader going down the Park Straight now, still extending that margin over Damian Trubchalski. Down the straight he will go. The 148 Volkswagen has pulled away a little bit from Jeremy Evans in the Honda Civic Type R. The two Toyota Celicas look like they're moving closer and closer together. So Sarah Hobson doing what she can to try and chase down Wayne Cockrell by the looks of that. And it's just getting closer and closer together. They are in fact the other way around, so it's Cockrell chasing Hobson in the mid-pack. Somewhat nose to tail again. They're just I think they're just being patient at this stage in the race.
So it's still Michael Rawlings from Damian Trubchalski with Alex Reid there in fourth position ahead of Jeremy Evans in the Honda in fifth place. It's Alex Tate, Sarah Hobson, followed by Wayne Cockrell's Toyota, and then the number 97 Mazda thereafter, which is going to be the 2 Daves, isn't it? Dave Connell started that one, so leaders are through and past me. We're then going to have that busy section of the circuit, the Woodlands, where that crowd will appear very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. So as soon as everybody works their way down the back straight, over the gooseneck and down towards Mansfield, you've got the one-way affair at the mountain, but at the moment it's still looking like the cars to watch are the two Celicas. Sarah Hobson, the lead Celica, out of the two, and then Wayne Cockrell doing what he can to work his way in towards the top six.
So the pair of them heading nose to tail in towards the bottom of the mountain once more, as you say, with Alex Tate not too far away. The all-white Toyota Celica of Sarah Hobson being shadowed by Wayne Cockrell's similar machine, and then the battle for the lead of Class D between the two Mazda MX-5s. But we are going to go safety car, I'm afraid. The safety car is making its way out onto circuit. That is going to bunch up the field. As for the reasons for the safety cars, well, as we say so many times here at Cadwell Park, particularly from my perspective, there's a lot of the track at my side I simply cannot see. I'm not sure whether you've got any idea what it might be for, Jack.
No, nothing over my side. I haven't seen any sort of dirt kicked up into the air. It looks very clean on my end. So
it's sort of paired off to a degree now, albeit Michael Rawlings is looking to try and disappear up the road. But for third and fourth, the lead of Class B, they're still together. Volkswagen still ahead of Honda. Then we've got Alex Tate, who can't really pull away from the two Toyota Celicas that sit behind. Sarah Hobson and Wayne Cockrell not too far away. We've still got the squabble going on between the Mazdas for 8th and 9th place in the lead of Class D as well, with the Dave Connell car just heading Rob Adams at the wheel of the number 3 Mazda MX-5, so leading pair over the start-finish line.
And if they carry on battling the way they are, Alex Tate and the two Celicas aren't too far away.
No, they're not, but I don't think they're slowing up each other as much as I thought they would do, the Golf, followed by the Honda. First pit stopper is in, which is the number 11 Mazda MX-5 of Chris Warwick. We saw Rhys Warwick driving that car yesterday in the Trackday Championship. So in towards Paul Benz goes 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place is pretty much together. The race leader Michael Rawlings is going to carry on for a further lap this time through. Is Jamie Trubchalski going to head towards the pit lane? Here comes the Honda now. No, he's going to continue around in 2nd place, but becoming ever more distant in 2nd place. The lead battle for Group B will continue as well, with Alex Reid still being hounded by Jeremy Evans. The Honda almost getting the overlap, but from what was 5th position, Alex Tate in the Finsport Ford Fiesta calls into the pit lane, so the 5th place car into the pit lane. That promotes Sarah Hobson in the Toyota up into 5th, and the other Toyota of Wayne Cockrell moves up to 6th.
Yeah, it could be that Alex Tate has seen what's going on up the road, and obviously he will have the better perspective out of the both of us, so he will be able to see whether he's gaining, and if he is, he's thinking, I don't want to lose any time here, so jumps into the pit lane nice and early, side by side down the park straight. Go Reid and Jeremy Evans, and once again on the brakes, I've got a feeling that Alex Reid will be able to outbrake him once they reappear through Park Corner. I think potentially forced wide there on the exit was Jeremy Evans, so buying a little more time there was Alex Reid. He's definitely pulled away, the gap has massively opened up, but that now means Jeremy Evans has dropped into the clutches of Sarah Hobson, so Sarah Hobson now trying to work her way of having newly been promoted into P5 with the pitting Alex Tate. She might be able to make a position on circuit with Jeremy Evans losing out already once again to Alex Reid.
And as for 3rd, well, that's evaporated all of a sudden, because Alex Reid in the Golf is now nearly 2 seconds up the road from the hard-charging Jeremy Evans, who has had a poor lap that time through and has fallen away quite significantly.
Yeah, I think that was the last time through when Jeremy Evans went for that lead, trying to work his way around the outside of Park Corner, got forced wide by the looks of it from Alex Reid, and that just meant that he dropped away, and then he had to, for a brief moment, defend from Sarah Hobson, but Sarah Hobson has now gone from attack back to defence, because Wayne Cockrell is all over the tail and trying to work his way up another position and up in towards what would become the top 5 for the moment. Of course, with the pit window being opened, it's interesting to see where Alex Tate will end up. I'm pretty sure he will be heading back out onto circuit. There you go, he's passed me now, so back out onto circuit he will go, under pressure for the moment from Brian Chandler. Whereabouts is Brian Chandler went his way up to as it stands? I can't quite figure out on the timing screen.
A few more takers for the pits this time through. The number 150, Julian Hammer, Hammer Time Racing Mini comes in, and also number 93, Christian Goodall, who'd been making good progress actually. Christian only qualified 31st, but he had managed to climb to 24th in the race so far, so he enters the pit lane this time through. Those that arrived in the pit lane the lap before now exited, including the 121 car and number 15 Mazda, both exits the pit lane. As for our race leader though, it's all going the right way, isn't it, as far as Michael Rawlings is concerned? That's absolutely for sure.
Yeah, he can't really do much more than he is doing at the moment. Just under 5 minutes of the pit window remaining on.
2nd place is in, so David Trubchalski heads for the pit lane this time through, and that is going to put the Golf of Alex Reid now into 2nd position.
So quite a crucial move there. Trubchalski straight into the pit lane. With 5 minutes to go, you've got to think the leader has got to come in on this lap, or maybe the lap after that. He's running out of time very quickly. I'd rather hit the lap early and risk it, cutting it as far as
They've got another 10 minutes, yeah, haven't they? Almost.
Oh yes, of course, there's still 10 minutes, yeah, it's until 15 minutes of the race remaining, so still 10 minutes of the pit window remaining, and of course you've just got to be careful when you do it. Has Jeremy Evans lost out to the two cars in front? Yes, he has, so Sarah Hobson comes by 3rd place on the circuit.
Michael Goulding still continuing round. He is not pitting as yet. Neither is the second place car, but a third place car, Sarah Hobson, does come in this time through, as does the lead battle for the lead of Class D. Both of the Mazdas pitting together. The number 97 car of Dave Connell is in to give way to Dave Nolan. The number 3 car of Rob Adams is in to give way to Father Martin Adams. Third now will come the number 37 Honda of Jeremy Evans.
Yeah, so Jeremy Evans, after battling and making a few mistakes, up into third on track. I just spotted the 150 Hammer Time Motorsport Mini Cooper S of Julian Hammer going very, very slowly. Coming into your sight now at the bottom of the mountain. You'll have to see whether he works his way in towards the paddock. Yeah, so that will become our second retirement of the race. Nick Tasker in his Volkswagen Golf also retired a little bit earlier on. We saw him going fairly slowly, but now everybody is working their way past the pit lane. You can see that Rawlings is dropping down the order, but obviously everybody else still yet to pit, and we're running out of time now, under 5 minutes of the pit window remaining. So
we have also finally got in as well. He'd worked his way up to fourth by the look of things. We've got Brian Chandler coming in at the wheel of his Mazda MX-5 Mark IV, yes. And also we've got a further retirement, I'm afraid to say. Lee Curry has retired the Renault Clio directly opposite my commentary box, opposite the clubhouse on the run in towards Hall Bends.
So everybody has crossed the line once again, and then that will allow us to update all of the positions through the TSL timing. But it's really starting to close up for 4th, 5th and 6th place. The 148 Alex Reed VW Golf GTI is under pressure from Alex Tate, who is there under pressure now from Richard Clark. So it's really starting to hold up, and I've just realised as well, both Alex Tate and Richard Clark are teammates, so they could work together, get past the VW, and then maybe work forward from there. Yeah, both the car line of Richard Clark, pardon me, they've lost time to Alex Reed, so the battle for what is now 4th place still arting up between the Pitsport teammates. And just having a look, Sarah Hobson, and I think we may have just had an engine failure down the back straight. Yes, we have. So lots and lots of smoke pouring out of the tail end of Jeremy Evans. The smoke has subsided, so maybe some sort of issue, an engine failure, you get a lot more smoke than what has been deposited from that car. But into retirement, pulled over towards the left-hand side on the entry towards Park Corner. Hopefully it won't require a safety car. I'm sure the incredibly efficient marshals here at Cadwell Park will get that car safely behind the Armco barrier. But that now means one of the top runners in this race, that Jeremy Evans, Semprini Racing Honda Civic Type R, into retirement.
Such a shame, and also problems for a couple of cars that were short on their pit stop. So a 1 lap penalty is going the way of the number 6 car, the Mazda of Colin Wells, and a 1 lap penalty is also going the way of the number 55 Mini Cooper when Matt Mills gave way to Christian White. Both of those cars were too short on their pit stops. Let's go to 4th comes Richard Clark in the Renault Clio. He leads Class G, but only just from his teammate number 63, the Ford Fiesta of Alex Tate, who's there in 5th place. 6th place is 21, which is Wayne Cockrell. 7th place is 144 Sarah Hobson. Up to 8th place now comes the Class D leading car, which is going to be Dave Nolan leading the number 97 Mazda to the lead of Class D. 76 Brian Chandler with Martin Adams now 3rd in Class D, 10th overall in the number 3 Mazda. So the battle for Class D, Jack, is brewing between the Mazdas.
Yeah, it's great to see that Brian Chandler was working his way from the very tail end of the order, assisted by a safety car. He's managed to work his way right the way up towards 9th overall and 2nd in class at the moment. For how much longer, I don't know. Like you say, only 1.5 seconds away. I'm going to have to come over the top of you again. The David Murphy Ford Fiesta, by the looks of that, an engine failure has definitely deposited oil. I can see it shining in the sun. We've had cars all over the road. Obviously not seeing that the oil is there, so I'd imagine the slippery surface flag will be out. One of the drivers getting caught out was Colin Wells in his purple and silver MX-5. Yet more cars going around. We've got a couple of Clios off the road, both of them being red. One of them is the number 14.
9 minutes to go, no further lap penalties being applied because of short pit stops than the 2 cars that I notified to you some time ago. It is still David Jakchevsky that continues to lead this race. 6.6 seconds was the lead advantage, but it did come down by a couple of tenths on the previous lap as David Trubchalski has not given up all hope, I would say, trying to catch the car ahead.
Now, one thing to bear in mind, and another car very, very sideways. Has he got the motor collected up? No, he hasn't. So that's another Mazda MX sideways down the hill. Fingers crossed, not in the barrier. I think I heard a nudge in towards the tyres. I couldn't quite pick out who that was. It could have been the number 97 that we mentioned just a few laps ago, of Dave Nolan getting caught out on the oil. We've seen lots of cars going sideways, still waved yellow, so I've got a feeling Dave Nolan, yeah, he's back towards you, he's got that going again, but lots and lots of drivers getting caught out on that oil. I think we've got oil down the back straight as well, and we have a red light flashing on our side, and yes, there's a red flag.
Yeah, the red flag's coming out, and we have reached 81% distance of the race as well, which means that my understanding of the Motorsport UK regulations and the regulations for the MSVT Trackday Trophy are correct. As long as you get to 75% of distance, it will be declared a result.